Hello, thank you for joining me here at TT Forum. My name is African Professor One. Subscribe, share with friends and family if you haven't subscribed already, or if you subscribe, kindly share, recommend, tell your friends and family, colleagues, co-workers how informative this platform is. It's very, very profound. I talk about a range of issues involving social, political, economic, geopolitical. Sometimes I even talk about romantic relations, soccer, and everything you can think of. So subscribe, share with friends and family. Hit the notification bell so anytime I upload new video, you may be among the first to get. So one more time, you are welcome to TT Forum, and my name is African Professor. I'm not going to waste much of your time. Let me go straight to the point. So today, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the newly appointed or elected leader of British Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but Badenoch, Kemi Badenoch, and the British, the leader of the British Conservative Party, the newly appointed leader of the British Conservative Party, and the vice president of Nigeria, or many of the Nigerian leaders, political leaders, some kind of diplomatic approach that has, occurred between Kemi Badenoch on one hand and the Nigerian politician, many of the Nigerians on the other hand. And sometimes the word doesn't cease to be, funny and interesting. And sometimes we worry ourselves about some, you know, uh, generalities, some things that are not really, really relevant to the socio-economic conditions of the people. Instead of focusing on the socio-economic conditions of the people, I'm just giving you a background. A lot of politicians, especially in the sub-Saharan Africa, worry about great-telling generalities, things that are not relevant to the conditions of the marginalized people in Africa. And that is what I want to talk about. Why am I saying all this? So, first of all, let me give you the topic of my conversation. So the topic for this discussions will be my brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Please leave Kemi Badenoch alone. She is not Nigerian. Let me repeat it. The topic for my conversation for this video is that my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, please leave Kemi Badenoch alone. She is not Nigerian. You may ask me, why are you talking about this? Yes, I was born in Ghana. I'm a, Ghanaian by birth, but guess what? If you look at the political history or culture in Ghana, or Nigeria, it's almost like Ghana. They are in sub-Saharan Africa. And what I mean by that is they are all bounded by corrupt leaders. They are corrupt to the core. That's the fact. That's the reason Africa is what it is. With all these large, immense natural resources, Africa is still struggling because of bad leadership, poor leadership, and selfish leadership, and where public money, are used, public money are used by, as a private piggy bank by some politicians. And that is what Kemi Badenoch talk about, and she has somehow landed into trouble by the many of the Nigerian leaders. So that is why I'm talking about this topic. I said, my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, please leave Kemi Badenoch alone. She is not Nigerian. And the point is that, so Miss Kemi Badenoch has been elected as the first black person to lead one of the major political parties, one of the major and the oldest political parties in the world, that is Conservative Party in Britain. So everybody, I think many of us who follow the politics of Britain, the United Kingdom, knows that Conservative Party has dominated, Britain politics, for many part of this 21st century. And this is the first time in its history which the party was formed in 1834, the second oldest party after Democratic Party of United States. Democratic Party was formed somewhere in 1828, and the Conservative Party was formed in 1834. So Conservative Party is a major and one of the oldest party in the world. And this is the first time they have elected a black person, a woman, to also to lead a black woman to lead the party, a black person and a black woman to lead the party. So it's a big deal. And so Kemi Badenoch happens to be, happens to share a Nigerian ancestry. What I mean by that is that Her parents, mom and daddy, are from Nigeria, but she was not born in Nigeria. She was born in Britain, Wimbledon, in Nigeria, in Britain, in 1980. So she's a British national, or she has a British nationality. She's not a Nigerian, even though her parents are from Nigeria. She was not born in Nigeria. She is not a Nigerian. She is a British. And so I'm saying all this to say that instead of Nigerian leaders focusing on trying to make life better for Nigerian, the majority of Nigerians who are living on the margin or the fringes of the society, this Nigerian crews, just like we have many in Ghana, politicians worry about, keep on reminding Kemi Badenoch the fact that she has a Nigerian ancestry. So what? She knows that her parents are from Nigeria, but she's not a Nigerian, because if she's a Nigerian, there's no way they will have elected her to lead a major party like Conservative Party in Britain. That is what Nigerian leaders or many of these African leaders should understand. So my point is, the reason I'm talking about this is it become annoying, and I think it's getting annoying to her that Nigerian leaders keep on reminding her that she has a Nigerian ancestry, blah, 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 blah. So what? She is not, yes, her parents may be from Nigeria. She was not born in Nigeria. She's not. Wherever you're born is where you're from. And there are some people, even where they're born in one place and decide to naturalize in another place, and then they cease to become a citizen of the land of their birth. As soon as you naturalize, you are no longer, a national of the country you were born if you naturalize for another country. You see, so this is what is going on. So, but the point is, I think what has brought all this saga, or all this somewhat diplomatic uproar between Miss Kemi Badenoch and Nigerian authorities, to be specific, the Vice President of Nigeria, Miss Vice President Shetima, Vice President Shetima, was that on one occasion, Miss Badenoch has a lot of opinion, political opinion, worldview about unfolding events around the world. And so, as a leader of a major party, she's been under interview here, everywhere, all over the place. So on one occasion, she was asked about her opinion, to share her opinion about Nigeria when she was growing up over there as a teenager. Because guess what? When she was around 5 years or 6 years, her parents moved back with her to Nigeria. So she grew up there, in her teenage years until she get to 16, and she moved back to the land of her birth, which is Britain. So she knew a little bit more about what was going on in Nigeria. So in the so when she was interviewed and to share her perspective about Nigeria politics, corrupt, and what is going on in Nigeria, why with all these immense resources, especially large oil or petroleum reserves, Nigeria is still struggle to, stay out of water or stay afloat on the water. So let me quote exactly what Ms. Kemi Badenoch said exactly about her experience growing up in Nigeria as a teenager. And I quote, "I grew up in Nigeria and I saw firsthand what happens when politicians are in it for themselves, when they use public money as their private piggy banks, when they promise the earth and they pollute not just the air, but the whole political atmosphere with their failure to serve others." Let me repeat again. Let me repeat what she said again about her opinion about Nigeria when she was growing up as a teenager over there. "I grew up in Nigeria and I saw firsthand what happens when politicians are in it for themselves, when they use public money as their private piggy banks, when they promise the earth and they pollute not just the air, but the whole political atmosphere when their failure to serve others." I want to know, what is it that, unquote, I want to know, what is it that this lady said, Kemi Badenoch said, that was wrong, that was not true about Nigeria, just like in Ghana. In many of these sub-Saharan Africa, the reason But with all these natural resources, with all those resources that a country need to develop, to advance, we have all this in Africa. And still, Africa is lagging behind many of these continents in the world. Why? Because many of these politicians use public money, public funds, as their private piggy banks. They promise the moon, and they deliver trash, and that is what Miss Badenoch said. And that's one thing. I may not share everything about her political philosophy and everything, but guess what? One thing none of us can take away from her is she doesn't mince words. In other words, she's a straight shooter. If it's black, she will tell you it's black. If it's yellow, she tell you it's yellow. So my point is, why is Nigerian leaders, many of these politicians, keep bugging her and trying to remind her of the fact that she has a Nigerian ancestry and blah, blah, blah. If she has Nigerian ancestry, so what? She's not Nigerian. Her parents are from Nigeria. She's not. So all this bragging about, instead of focusing and helping Nigerian people, a country of about 200 million or so, you can tell the percentage of the people in Nigeria that, are enjoying are less than 1%. And the rest are struggling because of public corruption, because politicians, public leaders, or public figures use Nigerian money, public money, funds, as their private piggy banks. And that's exactly what she said. They want her to tell the truth. They don't want her to tell the truth. And so because of this, right as soon as she made this comment, this authentic comment, the vice president of Nigeria, Shatima, said, by making that utterances, making that authentic, genuine perspective about, or trying, telling exactly what is happening in Nigeria, somehow Kemi Badenoch is denigrating Nigeria or denigrating her ancestry. In other words, she is trying to disown her ancestry for telling the truth. What the crap is that? Like Nigeria, like Ghana, it's the same way. Corrupt leaders. If you go to Togo, most of these sub-Saharan African countries, South Africa included, all of them are corrupt. And that is how people are struggling. That is why we have a lot of political instability in Africa. And so, do the Nigerian leaders want Kemi Badenoch to lie? Like they lie to the people who elected them into office? No, you can get it from them. And so that is why, see, my thing is, what pisses me off or what annoys me is when somebody trying to tell you who you are. So do the Nigerian leaders mean to say that Kemi Badenoch doesn't know that her parents are from Nigeria, and therefore she has the Nigerian ancestry? So what is the point? What's the point? That's all I want to know. What is the point? Why do they keep on reminding her that you have a Nigerian ancestry? Why? And another thing is, just because somebody telling the truth about what the state of affairs in Nigeria doesn't mean the person is denigrating his or her ancestry. She's just telling the truth because it's true. The reason Nigeria is where it is today is because of corruption. That's the fact. And then millions and millions of Nigerians, I will tell you about 90% of Nigerians or 95% of Nigerian population knows that there's corruption, deep-seated, ingrained corruption in Nigeria, just like in Ghana, in many of these African countries. That's for sure. That's a fact. So what is it that Kemi Badenoch said that make her denigrate her ancestry? Because she's of telling the truth? Because she didn't lie like many of you guys do in Africa? You see? That's bullshit. So that is why I'm saying it. So you hear Shatima, the vice president, saying that no matter what Kemi Badenoch's opinion about Nigeria is still the greatest black African nation in the world. And that I don't even know exactly what the vice president means by Nigeria being the greatest African nation because of the size or because of the population. What is it? So the size make a nation greatest or the population make a nation greatest? No, ma'am, that is not true. You messed up. You messed up the whole thing. The whole point is you are so surprised that you are surprised and shocked about somebody telling the truth, a real truth, authentic, being authentic about your country. And that is what is make you nervous. And many of us, whether I know a lot of Nigerians who are who are genuine, who are fair-minded, agree with Badenoch that first of all, Badenoch was not elected to be a PR, a public relation officer or spokesperson for Nigeria. Yes, like I said, her parents may be from Nigeria, but she's not a Nigerian. And that doesn't preclude her from telling the truth. The truth is truth. And I wish many of these African nations, including my motherland, Ghana, or the leaders over there, also tell the truth and be transparent about what is going on in the economy of these economies in these African nations. So for me, I think Badenoch doesn't owe anybody apology, and she's not a Nigerian. Her parents are from Nigeria. She's not from Nigeria. Yeah, she happens to be growing up a little bit in Nigeria, but she just told people what she just saw when she was growing up as a teenager. So that is the reality of the situation. So we all have to suck it up, and if you don't want anybody to tell the truth about your country, then do what is right. And I think everything will be okay. So one more time, this is Titi Forum, and this is your spokesperson, African Professor One. Subscribe, share with friends and family, and I'll talk to you another time. Have a great day. Bye.